Hi there, this is Kyle with Explore the Adventure. Today, I'm going to be talking about something that I've spent a whole lot of my life struggling with. And I know that it's something common that a lot of people struggle with, actually. In fact, it has to do with finding meaning and making meaning out of life. That can be one of the hardest things to do, especially when you feel like there's nothing to live for or there's not much to live for. Well, that's why I'm making this, just so I can help out with that and help provide some clarity and direction. One of the worst feelings to experience is the emotion of emptiness, apathy, the feeling that there isn't much to live for. The feeling that you're just going through the motions of everyday life and you're just barely getting by. So here's my ultimate advice to you. What I need you to do is to just curl up into a ball and just give up. Okay, I'm joking. I'm actually here to help you. I want to help you. I'm sure you clicked this video because right now, you're feeling like there should be so much more to life, but you're just not getting what you want out of it. So in this video, I'm going to provide some clarity on where you can get started to create more meaning and more direction in your life. So there was never a handbook in school that taught you how to find direction or purpose in life, but here, I will provide you with general guidelines that you can follow. And with these guidelines, you will have so much more direction with what you should be doing in your life. So here is what we're going to go over today. First, I'll be going over key principles that you can keep for the rest of your life. Second, I'll be going over some action steps to create more lasting meaning in your life. And third, I'll conclude with some finishing thoughts and principles. It's really that simple. And before I get started, I want to talk about how there's a standard of living that everyone seems to be doing. Be born, go to school, go to college, graduate, get a job, start a family, have 3.5 kids with a small cottage house and a white picket fence, provide and care for those kids until they can go off on their own, have some grandkids, die happy, and all of the fun and adventures in between. The standard American dream. But that doesn't sound like enough for you, does it? There has to be something more. There has to be more meaning. You know there's something more. And what makes things even more confusing can be all the people and influences in your life telling you about what you should do, what you ought to do, and you confuse their wants and desires with your own. Because of this, knowing what you want out of life can become a big, messy jumble of things that should be done and things that should be accomplished, without knowing if those things will actually make you happy or not in the long run. Now, I'm about to share with you a piece of knowledge that's going to change your perspective. And that is, well, there is no meaning to life. But at the same time, there is so much meaning. Now, why is that? Well, it's because what the real meaning of life is what you make of it. You create your own meaning. There is no one single meaning to life that should take over all of everything else you do in your life. And I bet you're wondering, how do you create your own meaning? Well, let me get to that. Let me get to the principles, the guidelines and principles that you can use to create something purposeful and special, and this is all according to your own beliefs, desires, and needs. I can promise you, if you use these guidelines and principles, I can guarantee that you will be well on your way to creating something meaningful out of your life. Principle number 1. Everyone has a role. There's a lot of false meaning out in society today. A lot of people think that they need to get rich, experience a lot of lovers, and become popular within their social circle, when in reality, these things are someone else's dreams and not their own. They don't know themselves well enough to know what truly matters to them. Even if they attain these goals, they are left feeling empty inside because the goal was never truly fulfilling. The first step to knowing what you should go after in life is to know yourself. Let's go deeper into this. One truth that everyone is aware of but doesn't really focus on is the truth that everyone is different. Yet, the schooling system is structured in a way where everyone is treated the same. Everyone is expected to show up, sit down, listen, and regurgitate that information onto a piece of paper. Not everyone can do that. Everyone is built differently. Some people are built for abstract thinking, intangible thinking. Some people have mechanical inclinations. Some are more physically capable. Some are more inclined towards people and the interdynamics between people. What I am trying to say is that you need to know who you are and what you are naturally gifted at. These are your natural talents. If you can find out what you are naturally good at, you will excel in that area, and it will more likely be rewarding and more fulfilling. So there are so many personality tests out there, but I recommend that you take the MBTI, the 16 personalities, and find out which of the 16 personalities you are. That would be one step out of many to figure out what kind of gifts you possess, what you are naturally more inclined to excel in, and areas that will need improvement. Each and every one of these 16 personalities has places where they excel and places that need improvement. Not a single personality is better than the other. It just has its own role. Each of these 16 personalities fit together like a puzzle piece, where each puzzle contributes back to society and has meaning. In understanding your personality type, I can promise you, you will have a lot of aha moments. You will have deeper insight and clarity into the inner workings of your own mind and how you function as a human being and how you relate to other people, and reasons why other people may be perceiving you in a certain way as well. And in understanding the other personality types, you can also understand how they are relating to other people. But that's a whole different topic for another day. Now, although all the answers you seek to understanding yourself may not be provided in the 16 personalities, it will go a long way to understand the basic structure of why you think and behave the way you do. In knowing the basics of this, you really do have more control over your life. And if you are interested in learning more about personality typing, I recommend you look into Jungian analytical psychology and start studying the cognitive functions. So, I need you to explore your talents. There are things that you are naturally gifted at, even if you don't realize it yet. It is your duty to use your talents and gifts and give them back to the world. You will be rewarded with fulfillment and contentment. And even if you don't feel like it right now, you do have a place. You do have a role. You do have natural gifts that you excel at more than others, even if you do not yet know it. And remember to stay here until the end of this lesson so that I can give you action steps that you can work on in order to discover your talents and your natural gifts. Principle number 2. To have meaning, you must have a goal. Knowing your personality type, Knowing what you are naturally drawn to and knowing your talents should give you a general direction which you must move. That which you are naturally good at and feel a compulsion to do is what you have to provide to the world, what you must provide to the world, what you will feel the most fulfilled in providing to the world. A goal is an intention. It's a step-by-step plan to accomplish a desired result. It is an outcome that you desire. When a person has no meaning, no purpose, they have nothing to strive for. There's no energy or motivation because there's nothing to move towards. If you're sitting around thinking to yourself about how life is meaningless, it simply means that you have not created enough meaning out of life. You must create your own meaning. You must create your own goals so that you can have something to move towards. Now, you will do this. You will create your own goals that have deep meaning to you by using your creative talents and abilities. And do realize that even if your talents are underdeveloped, your dedication to your abilities will develop them naturally over time. In choosing a goal to strive for, you will know what is right for you. Your goal will intimidate you, but it will deeply excite you at the same time. It will ring a bell of excitement. It will strike a chord deep within you. And as you strive towards your goal, you will find meaning in the step-by-step process which it takes to reach that goal. Every step along the way towards your goal, every small success you make towards your goal will feel good. One of the best feelings in the world is seeing your goal just slowly materialize in front of your eyes. And an even better feeling is when you accomplish your goal and you find fulfillment in the attainment of your goal. This leads me to my next principle. To have a meaningful goal that contributes a deeper sense of purpose to your life, you must choose fulfillment over pleasure. Principle number 3. Pleasure is short-lived while fulfillment is lasting. To choose a goal that is deeply meaningful, you must make sure that your goal is fulfilling versus being pleasurable. The major difference is that pleasure is intense and short-lived, while fulfillment is deep and lasting. Let's say that you want to lose weight, so you get liposuction. This would be considered pleasurable because you are getting the immediate reward, but it won't be lasting because the fat will just come back because you never learned the proper habits to maintain a healthier weight. Now, let's say that you decide to set a goal of losing 30 pounds. So you count your calories, you count your macronutrients, you replace all soda with water, you cut out all sugar, you get full nights of rest, you go to the gym and exercise, and you lose that 30 pounds. This would be considered fulfilling because you have put genuine time and effort into the accomplishment of something meaningful to you. This would be lasting fulfillment because you will know and understand the habits needed to reach that weight. And you would even begin to look at yourself differently in the mirror, not just weight-wise, but in terms of self-esteem and self-confidence. You know that you can rely on yourself to achieve a goal that you set for yourself. You now see yourself as the type of person who can accomplish what they set out for. Do know that that which usually takes more effort to achieve is usually more fulfilling, whereas immediate gratification is more often than not short-lived and fleeting pleasure. Anything that is ever worth anything will take effort and struggle. So this is why finding a fulfilling goal is important. It's because it contributes to building deeper meaning in your life. By creating a goal that has deeper meaning, you will find yourself having more energy, more drive, more sense of purpose and direction, and people will even notice more life in you. I'll provide examples of how to write worthwhile goals at the end of this video series. Principle number 4, just keep moving forward. If you are young and you don't know what you want, or hell, if you're old and you don't know what you want, know that it is better to be someone who jumps from thing to thing to find out that they don't like something in particular, than to be someone who is so afraid of failing that they don't do anything at all. When you look at your school major or your job, ask yourself, does this activity, does this job bring lasting meaning? Am I at a job or learning a major that will contribute to my life in the way that I want it to? Am I at a job that is teaching me the necessary things that I need to learn in order to reach my ultimate goals? Or have I just given into routine and am I simply just going through the motions? Is this just a stepping stone in teaching me about what I truly want? Or is it time to move on? Just keep moving forward. The moment you stop is the moment you give into apathy and stagnation. The more you dwell in apathy and stagnation, the more you lose your soul. The more you lose your energy, the more you lose your drive. So just keep moving forward. Principle number 5, take action. Nothing can ever happen unless you take action, unless you place one foot in front of the other. That being said, here are your action steps. Right now, feel free to get a piece of paper, get a pencil or a pen, and you will need these to explore these ideas. Write down your talents. There's multiple ways to see what you are naturally gifted at. What I need you to do is write down what you think you are good at. It can be anything, no matter how small it is. What you can also do is write down what others say you are good at. Ask your family members. Ask your friends. Write down the classes that you excelled at in school. Feel free to take a moment to pause this video and explore these ideas. Your second action step will be to create a meaningful goal. What I want you to do is I want you to set a goal for yourself. This is something that you can strive towards that will bring you purpose and meaning, not only when you achieve it, but also give you purpose and meaning every step along the way towards that goal. Now, it doesn't have to be super huge. You don't have to save the world or become famous. It can be as simple as getting a job, writing a resume, or finishing a project, or even creating a nice piece of art. A goal can also be striving towards something that is deeply lacking in your life right now. Perhaps you feel like you have no friends. So you can set a goal to read certain books on social skills, building genuine connections with others, and going out of your way to take action and implement what you have learned. It's what I personally did. What you can do is follow the DAPS method. That is dated, achievable, personal, positive, specific. Some examples of DAPS goals are: by December 20, 2022, I have moved out of my parents' house and I live in my own apartment. I will accomplish this by putting a portion of my paycheck aside every pay period and create a list of potential apartment complexes to move into. 1 month before my goal date, I will have secured my apartment and have paid the down payment and will have started packing my belongings. Notice how there's a date in there. Notice how it's achievable. Notice how it's personal. Notice how it's positive. And notice how it's specific. Also notice how I wrote down there how it was going to be accomplished. The more detailed a goal is, the better. Here's another example. By May 1st, 2020, I have lost 30 pounds and I now weigh 170 pounds. I have achieved this through counting the average amount of calories I naturally consume on a daily basis, then reducing those calories by 100 to 200 calories on a weekly basis, depending on how my body feels. With my macronutrients, I will include more clean protein and fiber to ensure that I am more full on lesser calories. I will replace all soda with water. I will give up sugar. I will refrain from fast food and junk food. I will weigh myself every day, or every other day. I will ensure that I get higher quality sleep. On average, I aim to lose 1 pound a week. Although with the cutting out of sugar, soda, and fast food, I will lose more weight faster in a healthy way. Side note, this is something I have personally achieved. Now, here's one more example, just so you can get a hang for how to write down your own personal goals. By February 1st, 2020, I have a deeper understanding of my purpose and have written down 3 meaningful goals. Every day for the rest of January, I will brainstorm my greatest talents. I will ask others what I am great at doing, what I am naturally talented at. I will reflect back on my childhood and observe through my memories what I naturally gravitated to and what I was naturally good at. On the last week of January 2020, I will write down all 3 of my goals and edit them and revise them. By the time February 1st, 2020 arrives, I will have my 3 goals written down and have something to work towards and look forward to for the rest of 2020. Now, even if you don't achieve your goal in the time period you've allotted yourself, simply extend it. It wasn't that you failed your goal, it's simply that you needed a different time frame. Another method that goal setting can come in is they can come in the form of 1-month challenges. So have you ever heard about how it takes 21 days to create a habit? Habits can change our lives because they are actions that we naturally and effortlessly do on a daily basis. If you do the same action for about 21 days or more, you can develop the wiring that is needed to do a task effortlessly. Before that wiring is created, it takes more effort and more energy to do that action. But if you do this for 21 days, the energy needed to do that same action will almost be close to no energy needed at all. So these 1-month challenges are very much worth it. So here's some examples of 1-month challenges. I deeply desire to improve my dating life. For 1 month, I will talk to 1 beautiful woman a day, or beautiful man, whoever's listening to this, and ask for their number. If they decline, I'll simply smile and continue the challenge for the rest of the month. If they accept, I will move forward with a date. Now, I actually had a friend who did this. His results made my jaw drop. Another example is, I deeply desire to improve my skills with a guitar. For 1 month, I will practice my guitar for 30 minutes a day. One more example includes, I deeply desire to improve my health. For 1 month, I will refrain from eating any added sugars. I can eat fruits, but I will refrain from soda. I will refrain from milkshakes, candy, and even certain chips and bread, as those have added sugar as well. Now, I recommend that you get a calendar for these 30-day challenges. For every day you accomplish, mark off that day on your calendar. Every day you achieve will feel better and better. The completion of a 1-month challenge is extremely satisfying. Now, a more extreme version of this challenge is a 1-year challenge. I've personally gone an entire year sober, multiple times due to sending 1-year challenges for my mental and emotional health. And before I could even do those 1-year challenges, I started off with 1-month challenges. 1-month challenges are powerful. They can lead to you accomplishing some very powerful stuff. It's basically using the power of momentum. So I highly recommend this method of goal setting. For the final activity, something I want you to do is contemplate and reflect on what activities bring you meaning. And be sure to include more of those activities in your life. For the next week, make a list of activities that bring you a sense of fulfillment and meaning. And it's a pretty simple exercise. Here are some of mine. I like going on beautiful hikes and gazing into awe-inspiring views that take my breath away. I love finishing a beautiful piece of writing. I like finishing meaningful projects like this video I created for all of you. I like laughing and deeply connecting with friends. I love doing something nice for someone and just making them smile. All of these activities bring deep meaning to my life. So I'd like you to write down for yourself what activities bring meaning to your life as well. And put those activities in a place where you can continually see it. That way you can ensure that you're including more of that in your life. All right. You've reached the end of this workshop. If you've reached the end and you've done all the exercises, I seriously applaud you. You have taken a step in the direction of creating more deep and fulfilling meaning in your life. I want to keep this workshop short, so yes, I will end it here, but I'm going to include another video that will give general principles of navigating around meaning. And it'll be a follow-up video to this video, so stay tuned. So I hope you have your goals written down. I hope you wrote down everything that you find meaningful in your life so you can include more of those activities in your life. Perhaps you've chosen to do a 30-day challenge, but there's so much for you to do from here on out. You have so many options, and really, just move forward. Just take one step in front of the other, and you won't be able to figure out exactly what you want until you move to that destination. So keep on moving forward, keep on journeying forward, and keep on exploring your adventure. Again, this is Kyle with Explore the Adventure. Thank you so much for joining me today in this workshop, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.